are now officially one of the resident artists here with the city, so we're going to be here doing lots of shows with the city of Charleston Heights. And then we tell you about our whole season, but I always have to thank the Nevada Arts Council because they are instrumental in keeping an opera company and a lot of arts companies alive. So thank you to them. But this program, I really have to thank the Nevada Humanities. You know, when we first started, it's only been a couple of years that we've written some humanity grants and reached out to them, and they've been tremendous supporters of ours because as a company grows, and we like to program stuff here for our city and you guys, it's very important to create and foster new works, and new compositions, and new poetry, and all of the things that create a conversation of healing in the arts for our community, and to support the artists that are fundamentally important to do that. So thank you for doing that. You guys are all doing that tonight. You're being here. The Nevada Humanities has done that, so thank you to them for supporting this program. And new works and new composers and new poets are tremendous and very important to our souls and to our community and who we are as a community. They are the voice of our community. So I'm excited. We have an incredibly eclectic and fantastic program for you tonight. You're going to leave here and be like, that's an opera company? No, it's not. Not your regular opera company. As Skip likes to say, we like to violate the genre. So we do have a couple of things coming up, and Skip, do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So we have a great season coming up, and I want to take a moment for me anyway, and I hope for you, to really revel in what an amazing thing it is that Vegas City Opera is in its 12th season in Las Vegas. Jenson and I came here 12-ish years ago when we were just teenagers. Don't laugh, that's not a joke. So we looked at the landscape and said, like, hey, we think we have something that we can do here. And we're doing it, and that's because of you. And also because of the people that we're going to see here tonight. We work with some amazing, talented people here in Las Vegas. And I don't know where we would be without them. I mean, I do. It would be me and Ginger doing this whole show. So this upcoming season, our position in the opera community has given us this freedom to kind of, as Ginger said, violate the genre, and we love it. Yeah. It's great. So our next production will be right here at Charleston Heights as a resident company. We'll be doing, it's titled La Baudet. So we've always wondered, like, of course we need to do La Boheme. We really need to do it, right? But what can we do as a company to bring something new? And that's tough because it is the most popularly performed opera in the whole history. So we decided to sit in light of like tonight's performance. We're gonna sit with our experience, and we'll be doing it as like expatriates living in Italy during the outbreak of a strange pandemic. And so Mimi, the lead character, who is traditionally dying of tuberculosis, in the Rent version of La Boheme is dying of AIDS, and in the Vegas City Opera version is dying of this strange pandemic disease and is undead. So, can't wait for our new Vegas City Children's Chorus, which is in its inaugural year, starting next week on Tuesday. So if you know any kids, like, we'll take them. Like, it's a very exciting year for us, and we're like want to bring all these kids in. They will be performing the children's chorus as little undead organ-eating zombies. So they're very excited, or they will be as soon as we tell them. And I'm very excited about that. Then, let's see, in the spring, in April, we are doing Las Vegas's first Porgy and Bess. I'm really excited for that. And then in the interstitial space, we'll be doing a million things, including our Voices of Women concert series, which is also in the spring. We're going to be going down this road with Soho Playhouse, which is bringing, they are now entitizing, I don't know what word I'm looking for. They're coming to us. They're coming from New York, and they are a new entity, a new player on the scene, so
And I think we're co-producing their first show together here, back again, and it is the story of Black Swan Records, which is the first owned, operated marketed to the Black community classical music CD record back in the record days ever produced. So we're very excited to bring that story to life.
So there's all of that, and then there's tonight. So as some of you may know, in my day job, I'm an infectious disease nurse at UNC. So this has been a particularly poignant topic for us, the experience of 2020 and the pandemic, which has devastated so many people's lives in different ways, and we've seen it in the community of our performers as well, some of whom have had a very difficult struggle over the last year and a half finding work and keeping their spirits up for a group of people who relies on the communication experience with folks like you. It's been really tough to be in quiet rooms over Zoom performing for each other. It's been kind of a funny year and a half. So we believe that the point of art is to heal and inspire and grow our community. That is the point of the company. So we have called on all of these composers to bring us their experiences. So we said, bring us the music you're working on, the poetry you're working on, the spoken word, the instruments that bring it to us. But what is your 2020 and beyond, unfortunately, experience? So that is what we're here to see tonight, and I'm very excited for like a little bit of catharsis for you and for us, and this is going to be pretty great. We have some cool things on the docket tonight, and this is, all new works. You're the first to hear, and for many of these composers, it's a very moving experience because it will also be for them the first to hear their works performed. So I think we're in for a moving experience, and I'm glad I wore waterproof mascara.
One last note, we are taping this, so we're going to be able to give a version of all of these pieces to the artists. So you are welcome to take photos, but just no flash, please, and keep your cameras low, and you can be as loud as you want, but just keep everything down so that we get a good video of everybody. So thank you very much. And I'm going to bring to the stage Miss Jennifer Bellor, our first composer.
My name is Jennifer. It is such a pleasure to be here and a part of this wonderful concert by Vegas City Opera featuring songs inspired by the pandemic. At the beginning of the pandemic, I came across this poem by Christina Rossetti titled A Smile and a Sigh. And when I read the lines, a smile because the nights are short, a sigh because the days are long. Long, long these days are passing and sighing. I couldn't help but think about how this 19th century poem I came across resonated so much with how many of us experienced the passing of time in 2020. And so I'm very excited to share with you this song, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Francisco Corredor. Very happy to be with y'all tonight. Last year, I was the director of Vegas City Opera's award-winning The Ring Vegas. And a lot of amazing singers, and some of them are here tonight. So thank you for being here and for supporting all of us again. But prior to joining the Vegas City Opera family, I had only moved to Vegas in the fall of 2019. Yeah. So I moved here. It was great, and then a couple of months later, the world shut down. And then I turned 30. And yeah. And I spent my birthday like I did many of the days of the pandemic, alone in my pool drinking. And so this song is for everybody who's had a birthday during the pandemic, which I'm assuming is all of you. Today is my 30th birthday. We're stuck in a lockdown and I can't go out. I'm eager to go into Caesars, but neither casino is open right now. Today is my 30th birthday. And Vegas, along with the world, is shut down. Feels like a mirage, you know, there's no Bellagio, and nothing is open downtown. Can't wait to return to my favorite bar. Sahara and Paris will not be far. But until the CDC changes the rules, I think I'll stay in my own swimming pool. Got my drink in hand, my floaties, and I'm playing good time oldies. I think I'll clown around with the world shut down. I'm the master of my castle, though I do not get to travel. But I can wear my crown with the world shut down. What a time I chose to move to Vegas. Fast food and drive-thrus, but no bodegas. Do you know what I really, really want? Is to have a meal at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. Somebody should forward in this video because there's nothing a singer likes more than a free meal. But till then, got my drink in hand. Here's to opening and GM Grand and the Venetian Paris, the encore. Final pour, one more. Here's to me and my birthday song. Cheers to all the Vegas strong. I promise we'll drink till dawn. Once the world
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jenson, and I am so excited to be here tonight to be able to present this song. I have the blessing of working at a church full time, and right as the pandemic hit, was like March 15th for us. That was our last service that we had, and so, like many people, I had an opportunity to go back and look at some of the things that I had worked on in some sketches, and one of the sketches that I had was Dancing on the Clouds. Myself and the lyricist Marissa Snider, who we worked together at the Suncoast Hotel and Casino about 2004 or stuff like that. And one of the things that I saw as we were working at the church is that our church happens to be in an area that has an older congregation, so many of the people who are in our church have been married for 40, 50 years, and it weighed upon me, how do they get by when they lost a spouse to COVID or any kind of loss? And this idea of loss was ever present in my mind. I said, this is going to be a great song to do that, and so I took the sketches and we worked on it with the great band that I have with me, which is Redeemed Worship, which is Michael Stefani on the guitar, Michael Vanderwerf on the drums, and Bridgette on vocals. So this was a collection of 3 songs that I actually wrote. The second thing that I noticed a lot about COVID was this feeling of isolation. I don't know, many of you, if you ever experienced a loved one who was in the hospital and you couldn't go visit them. And so there was no, and so I wrote a piece for cello and piano called The Gray Chair to, kind of reflect this. And then I wrote a third piece for this collection called The Times of Our Lives. How do we move forward? We need to keep the good things and the present things about the people that we will tremendously miss. So this is Dancing Upon the Clouds, the first of that set, and I hope you enjoy it.
Music soft and slow, I felt
have no idea which one of these mics is mine, so I'm just gonna use this one. Hi, it's dark. Hi, my name is Isabella Ivy, and I wrote the Vegas 2020 song cycle. I started writing these poems in quarantine because what else do you do when you have a lot of pent-up creative energy and nowhere really to put it? Can't go outside, can't scream at anybody in person because they'll get offended, so, you know, have to be nice. So I wrote these during quarantine several months ago before I even knew about the project anyway. And then when I heard that Vegas City Opera was like, oh, we're sponsoring a song cycle competition, I'm like, well, I have this poem, so I guess I could write some music to it. So these are a pretty interesting view into my thought process during the first part. I'm a long COVID survivor, so I still deal with some issues from it every day. So a lot of my frustration comes, you know, to head in these pieces. I've got a piece called Vaccine, please get your vaccine. Maskhole, because we've all seen that guy who's wearing his mask on his friggin' forehead. You know, that guy. We hate that guy. So, right, thank you whoever you are. I can't see you, it's too dark, but I appreciate you. So these songs are just a reflection of a lot of different feelings that we have, I think, probably all had in quarantine. So I hope you enjoy Vegas 2020. I'll be joined by two fabulous colleagues of mine to sing the whole cycle.
reared on the milk of human kindness. I am everyone, and like no other. I'm the wrath of nature and the calm after the storm. I'm the rage you feel when injustice prevails, and the first light after the dark. I'm the first thing you think of, the last thing you want to forget. I am the eyes of the blind and the voice of the mute. I'm here to wake it up, shake it up, and take it up to the next level. I am the chosen one, sent to this planet to bring the message only I can deliver. I am simply me, and that's all I need to be. That poem is entitled, Who I Am, and who I am is G. Eric Miles. And I'm here to share with you some of the poetry that was inspired by the year 2020. The poems I'm going to do tonight were all written in 2020, with the exception of the one you just heard. Now, one of the first impressions I have of 2020 is that it was a lot of it, almost all of it, was based on appearances. And as we know, appearances can be deceiving, and appearances can be divisive. And that led me to the poem entitled Appearances. It appears the world's unraveling upon this road we're traveling, and yet we still have everything to satisfy our needs. The way to hell is heavenly paved with lavish riches designed to enslave the mind of the weak and the soul engraved, lost in the high weeds. And amidst all the clamor of fear-driven actions of folks being forced into mistrusting factions, while no one can see, that's exactly the reaction the fearmongers want you to feel. It's time for the legions of light to arise and stand for the principles you won't compromise, because ethics and morals don't monetize and never will. The way to the light through the maze of lies is visible only through violet-hued eyes that open the mind to realize the path that leads to the heart. That bridge that connects to your higher self can't be revealed by possessions or wealth, but will be the cause of sound mental health and an excellent place to start. 2020 signifies perfect vision and sight, to see the truth of what's brought to the light that exposes all demons and pierces the night that has covered us far too long. Unsee the illusion and pick up your reins. Evolve to that energetic being again, and then transform everything else that remains to a world where evil won't belong. Now, once you get past the appearances, once I was able to see past the appearances, there is only truth. But whose truth were we listening to? Were we listening to our own instinctual, organic truth? Or were we listening to the lies that were perpetrated as truth? Which led me to this poem called Truth. The lies you were taught have become your sole truth, a proven belief system without any proof. From the moment you began until the time you leave, the battle keeps raging for what you believe. The mind of the masses, and with it their will, remains the true prize for which people do kill the critical mind that would question the farce and challenge the lies before all hope is lost of the truth being boss at a line you won't cross. Those lies that you still hold firm to your chest, wearing them proudly like a bulletproof vest, is riddled with holes and won't cover your head, but leaves you fragile and vulnerable instead to even more lies and skewed gyrations, blinded visions, and dark expectations. Yes, the lies you are living are in full control of your mind, your actions, ultimately your soul. And the punishment dole, you'll never be whole. Once you get past the truth, you realize that there is a truth, which inspired this next poem called Truth. Thank you. The lies that you think are your firm foundation are crumbling away, along with a nation of lambs and wolves who are struggling with self, lost in the forest of programming stealth. But those lies at your core are not you. They were merely placed there to direct what you do, what you say, what you think, and react out of fear without even a blink. The more potion you drink, the lower you sink. But those lies implanted at our inception are merely just another perception of the reality we share in time and space, and can be altered, rearranged, or replaced. Those labels yoked at the base of your skull are boxes and barriers and not you at all. When exposed to the light, the true you cannot hide, and who you will be who you decide. The truth then is, all will change in kind when you merely change your mind. Now, once you discover, or once I discovered the truth, it came a moment where I realized I had to tell somebody to get out of my way. but it really came down to who was the right person I needed to say to get out of my way. Which led to the poem entitled, Out of My Way. The goal was to get out of my own way, but then I found it not as easy as to say. Every time I moved to clear the lane, I'd look up to find I was right there again. No matter the direction my focus took, I was always right where I would look. Years and years of going round and round, chasing my end with no feet on the ground, unaware the actions I took each day brought me no closer to out of my way. But then, in a moment, to my surprise, I saw much clearer when I closed my eyes. I began to see where the answers had been, not looking without, but looking within. My sight blinding my vision so obvious that I was completely oblivious that the physical impulses aren't all I feel, and the power to transform is equally real. But as long as my weaknesses are still in play, there will always be something, my own, in my way. Ergo, the goal has become the directive to establish firm footing, solidly effective for cleaning the pathway and keeping it clear from traps of frailties and things I fear. Seeing the shortness of my own sight and the addictions that always darken my light. Being mindful of the roadblocks that hinder and seem immovable when I fail to surrender to my higher vibration and never stray out of that safe place of out of my way. And now, after eons of spinning my gears, eschewing my limits and allaying my fears, I accept now how the fallacy exists, not from what's out there, but from what I missed. That the ability to remove every obstacle is ready, willing, and obtainable when I close my eyes and open my mind, trust my instincts, and leave behind the weakness and frailties that prevent me to say, there is anything left to get out of my way. Now, just so you know that I don't think 2020 was all doom and gloom. There were some positives that came out of 2020. All of these poems came out of 2020. But that wasn't the only thing. 2020 gave us the moment to stop and reflect and to look and to find out what it is that's holding us back and what it is that moves us forward. And one of the things that I discovered in that whole process is the poem that I'm going to leave you with tonight. And it is a poem that is more uplifting about what can ground us, what can bring us back, what can allow us to know our true selves. And that's nature. If you ever want to feel lost, go outside into nature. Take a deep breath, take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass, and you will find peace. You will find yourself. And you'll find something else out there, which led to this poem called Out There. There's a tree out there that has your air and is holding a breath for you. So don't hold your breath, forsake sure death, and give back to those who don't ignore you. It's waiting for you to do what you do so it can do its thing in kind. The exchange taking place with ease and grace, which allows for a clearing of mind. There's a tree in the forest just waiting for tourists to wander away from the concrete and get lost in the woods and find out what is good about being out where there are no streets. There's life all around, springing up from the ground, the same earth from which we two both came. So go hug a tree, confidently, knowing there is no reason for shame. There's a tree out there in the middle of the square with the circle of life all around it. So take a moment of time. Right now would be fine. To embrace and then leave as you found it. Somewhere there's a tree, just waiting to be, that silent source of sustaining, providing the spark as you walk through the park for whatever time you have remaining. I thank you